Alright, let's try this. Uh, Julius Caesar, in the Civil War, when he was against Afrium, he led out his copies, his forces, and he did not have the faculty of retreating, basically, without danger. So just as they had stood, the first and second battle lines remaining there in arms. Now, however, a third Akes, a third battle line, furtively being applied to the work from the rear. 15 feet he made a ditch, inside of which, under the setting of the sun, under the line of the horizon maybe of the setting sun, armed men received themselves or hid themselves there. This here, if you wanted to pause it and type it in, is where you download the things that YouTube's not allowing the links on. Pericles the Athenian, by the Peloponnese, he was compulsed or forced into this location or a location from which, from all sides, undique, there are abrupt cliffs. He was cinctus, hemmed in, having tantum only 2 exits that he had. From one part of a huge latitude side, he duxeted or led a ditch on the one part, and it was big, as if for the sake of excluding the hostis, the enemies. From the ulterior side, he began to make a track, just as if he was about to erupt out through it. These who were besieging, when through the ditch which he himself had made, did not believe the army of Pericles would evade through, so the besiegers didn't think that he would come out through the ditch. So universally, they obstruented, they blocked him from the side where the track was. Pericles, with bridges which he had prepared, injected them, made these little bridges over the fosses, the ditches, and his men, who had no one resisting, he emitted them out that way. Licinius, one from those in who the resources and wealth of Alexander had crossed to, when he had determined on a high hill would be for his camp. Now, moreover, or however, the imprudence of his men led him into an inferior hill, a lower hill, and he feared an incursion of the enemy from the higher ground. Triple ditches inside the ramparts he chucked up. Then, with some simple ditches being led around all the tents, he had confounded it. He'd made trenches all around the whole camp, having intercepted or cut off the additus, the approaches of all the enemy then, and simul with the ground also, and with a bunch of leaves which had come out of the ditches, he piled them all up. Call this patafactio, something like that. And this way he had made an evasion into the high hill open. See Frontinus Crassus, when he was in Spain, with 3,000 of his men. He had set out for a supine purpose to get some. He was predatory. He was out there looking for some booty or fodder or something, and he found himself circumventus. He was surrounded or cut off in an unlevel ground or a disadvantaged ground by Hasdrubal. To his first orders, or ranking people only, with his plan related to them, with the night beginning, in which time leastly it was expected, through the stations of the enemies, the outpost, he corrupted, he broke out. El Furious, having conducted his army into a disadvantaged place or unlevel place, when he had decided to hide his solicitude and anxieties, lest the rest of his people become trepidatious or trepidant, little by little he bent his journey, just as if he was about to attack the enemy by a more circuitous circle. And then with his column all having turned, of which they were ignorant of the matter, he led his army safe back, and they were ignorant of what was agabating, what was going on. P. Decius Tribunal in the Samnitico War, with Cornelius Cosso the consul being deprehended or caught in an unfavourable places by the enemy, He persuaded that a hill should be occupied, which was in Proprinquo, which was nearby. So he's persuading him that he should send a modest amount of men, and himself would be the leader, he offered, of those who were going to be sent. Being called away into diverse places, the enemy, the consul got away. However, Decius was hemmed in and besieged on that hill he went to. These were also very narrow places, which, with a nighttime eruption from this place, Decius burst out. I guess he frustrated the other people, and he was safe, and he added himself to the consul. He joined the consul with his soldiers.